All right, so you want to talk crypto in September. Everyone thought it was going to be nuts, right?
Like a bucking bronco.
Totally. But we're diving into the Empire newsletter today, and, well, let me tell you, it hasn't been that crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of wild, actually. Everyone was bracing for, like a massive earthquake or something.
Right.
And it's been, well, kind of quiet.
Yeah, like Bitcoin's up a little,
A little bit.
but not to the moon up. More like, oh, maybe I'll take the stairs up.
Exactly.
And Solana, it jumped a bit after the Fed did its thing with interest rates. But, again, not exactly front page news.
No. And anyone just looking at, the last 30 days would be forgiven for thinking everyone was overreacting.
Right. So where do we even start?
Well, this is where you got to dig a little deeper, right? You got to look
Yeah.
past those daily swings. 30-day snapshots, they're interesting, but they don't tell you the whole story. It's like you wouldn't judge a whole movie just by watching the trailer. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the story then? What's the bigger picture here?
The big picture is about looking for those underlying trends, the things that tell you where things are actually headed, not just where they've been the past month.
Got it. So it's all about tuning out the noise and finding the signal. And what is that signal saying? Because the most resilient part of the market might surprise you. Not DeFi, not NFTs, but meme coins. Meme coins are like the life of the party everyone underestimated.
It's all about what we call speculative appetite, right?
Yeah.
Like how much people are willing to just roll the dice. And right now, people are hungry, even without a big altcoin rally.
So the question is, how long can this meme magic last?
$1 million question.
For real. Speaking of holding on, Empire pulled this data from Glassnode, the on-chain data wizards. Turns out a ton of Bitcoin is just sitting tight, maturing into these, get this, long-term holder wallets.
And that's a really important point. Those long-term holders, those are like your seasoned veteran. They've ridden out all the storms, and they're not selling just because a little turbulence.
They're like, been there, done that, got the Bitcoin to prove it.
Exactly. And that behavior, that long-term vision, that's a powerful signal.
Okay, so we've got Bitcoin playing it cool, meme coins having their moment, and a whole lot of Bitcoin OGs just vibing. Mixed signals much. But don't worry, there's another piece to this puzzle we got to look at. Stablecoins. Empire seems to think they might be the key to understanding what's really going on. Stablecoins, right? They're like the underdogs of the crypto world,
Yeah.
quietly powering things behind the scenes.
Yeah, but don't let that fool you. They can tell us a lot about what's really going on under the hood.
So spill the tea. What are stablecoins whispering about the market?
It's all about the supply, right? And what that increase in supply actually signifies. Even though Bitcoin is sort of chilling, the amount of stablecoins out there is going up.
This is like everyone's getting ready for something.
Exactly. They're stockpiling ammo, so to speak.
Empire called it, and I love this, growing investor buying power. Like everyone's just waiting for the right moment to strike.
Exactly. And this is where it gets really interesting, especially if you want to get ahead of the curve, right?
Okay, so how do we use this to our advantage?
Because by tracking where these stablecoins are flowing, you can kind of get a sneak peek at where that smart money might be going next before everyone else.
Ooh, I like it. It's like having a crypto crystal ball. But with all the different stablecoins and blockchains, where do we even start looking for clues?
Well, Empire took a deep dive into Tether, the big one, specifically on the Tron blockchain. And, well, they found something pretty interesting.
Lay it on me.
70%, that's right, 70% of Tether transactions on Tron are for like $1,000 or less. Small potatoes compared to those whale-sized trades we usually hear about.
So what, like the little guy is getting in on the action?
That's one way to look at it. Could be a sign of real everyday people using Tether, especially in places with high inflation.
You mean like using Tether to buy groceries instead of like trading it to make a quick buck?
Exactly. Think of it as like a digital dollar that's actually stable, unlike their own currency, which might be losing value by the day. Empire specifically called out Nigeria, actually.
For real, what's going on in Nigeria?
Well, get this. The busiest times for Tether transactions on Tron, they're basically the same as peak business hours in Nigeria.
Whoa, okay. So we're talking about real-world use here, not just speculation and trading.
Right. And it's happening on Tron, which is interesting because everyone always talks about Ethereum being the center of the crypto universe.
Right, Ethereum's like the cool kid everyone wants to hang out with.
Exactly. But Tron is out here proving that it can handle real-world usage, especially when it comes to stablecoins. It's faster and cheaper than Ethereum, which is a big deal if you're just trying to buy groceries or send money to your family.
Okay, so maybe we should all be paying a little more attention to Tron, but why is all this Tether activity happening specifically on Tron?
Well, for one, Empire highlighted that there's actually more value being moved in Tether on Tron than on all of Ethereum's DeFi apps combined.
Wait, seriously? So, like, more people are using Tether on Tron for everyday stuff than they are using Ethereum for all that complex DeFi stuff.
You got it. It's a whole different side of the crypto world that often gets overlooked.
Okay, so we've got stablecoin flows as a potential leading indicator, and Tron quietly becoming the king of real-world stablecoin use.
Yeah.
This deep dive is full of surprises.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about all those smaller Tether transactions happening on Tron, right? Like regular people using it, not just the big spenders.
Right. Everyday folks.
Well, Empire dug a little deeper,
Mm-hmm.
and let me tell you, what they found is kind of wild.
They did. It's pretty amazing, actually, when you think about it.
So Skillet, what's the scoop?
Well, it turns out those peak tether times on Tron, they line up almost perfectly with, get this, peak business hours in Nigeria.
No way. Seriously.
Seriously. Like, it's the most compelling evidence we've seen.
That's got to be more than just a coincidence, right?
It's pretty clear evidence that a lot of this activity, these everyday transactions, it's coming from Nigeria.
So they're using Tether for, like, what? Business, sending money, just everyday stuff.
Could be. Makes sense, though, right? If your own currency is all over the place, why not use something more stable?
Right, like a digital dollar that actually holds its value.
Exactly. And this is what makes on-chain data so fascinating.
It's not just numbers on a screen anymore, huh?
Nope. It's like a window into how people are actually using the stuff in their lives. Real people, real problems, finding creative solutions.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. Like, we always hear about the next big thing in crypto, but maybe the real revolution is happening right under our noses.
And maybe, just maybe, these stablecoins, especially on networks like Tron, they're showing us where things are headed.
So if we want to know the future of finance, maybe we should be watching where the stablecoins are flowing.
Maybe. Something to think about, right?
Definitely gives you a lot to chew on.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, folks. Another deep dive into the wild world of crypto. This month, meme coins did their thing, Bitcoin veterans held strong, and stablecoins. They just might be the key to unlocking what's next.